I'm doing well, thank you. I got a new pair of sunglasses.
I saw.
I see you survived the shark attack, thank
I'm
God.
alive.
This is a crazy movie because I don't want to reveal too much, but you go into the water in a cage.
We do.
And then for a whole hour, you're in the cage.
Yes.
Underwater.
The movie is 95% underwater, so we spent about 8 weeks, 8 hours a day underwater shooting this.
And how do you not die from, like, pruning in that situation?
To be quite honest, there was a lot of pruning going on and a lot of dry skin, but I was way more concerned with, in order to sort of mimic the algae that's at the bottom of the ocean. So basically the premise is these girls are in a cage, they're going cage diving, cage breaks off from the bottom of the boat, they fall to the bottom of the ocean, 150 feet down, and it's sort of a race against the clock because their air is running out, they're in shark-infested waters, etc. So in order to mimic the sort of algae that's at the bottom of the ocean, they decided that very finely chopped up broccoli would do the job. So, yes, so we spent about 5 weeks swimming in, like, broccoli soup because it was heated, the tank was heated, and there was just, like, broccoli floating around on the surface. It was...
How big is this tank?
Not too big. I mean, it wasn't like a giant pool or anything, but it was about 20 feet deep. I don't know how big.
That's pretty big.
I mean, it's fairly big, so...
And is there a shark in there with you, or is that all... There's no shark in there?
There are no sharks
Do
in
they
there.
change the water regularly? No water changing.
No water.
Because broccoli doesn't smell that great fresh.
It doesn't. So you can imagine after, like, a month or 5 weeks in chlorinated warm water, the broccoli, it was pungent.
This sounds like a way, like, we'd put Bin Laden in this situation.
It's like a torture
to punish him.
Yes. It was awful.
And how often do you get breaks from the water? You come up every 5 minutes?
No, actually, that was the difficult part as well. We would start the day with, like, a full tank of air. We'd go down, we'd shoot until, like, our air was just about, had almost run out. We would surface, they'd refill our tanks. I am a girl with a very tiny bladder, and I had a difficult time figuring out my restroom use situation.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because nobody else ever got out of the tank. And so I was like, we would surface and everyone would be drinking tea because we shot it in London. And I watched, nobody else got out of the water. So I assumed, I was like, okay, so this is what we're doing. We're peeing in the tank.
Oh, they were?
No, everybody was. No, I mean, it was Claire Holt, my co-star and I, and just, you know, probably 10 men who were in this tank. What? And I found it really difficult to just let go and pee in the tank.
Yes, of course you did.
Right?
There's a sign that says don't.
Apparently those rules don't apply in the tank, so it took me a good month, and then I finally got over it, and I was able to do it.
You did start peeing in the tank?
I did. I couldn't help it. Otherwise, it was like I'd have to hold it for an hour, sometimes as long as my tank would last.
So you're shooting for 2 months in a giant specimen cup.
Yep.
Essentially.
Of urinated hot broccoli water.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
You know, you never feel bad for actors when they talk about, like, what they went through. In this one case, I'm going to make an exception.
Really?
Yeah, because this sounds like the worst.
It was worth it. It was worth it.
Do you love clicking buttons and subscribing to things? Then click the button to subscribe to my channel, and you'll finally be happy.